Hello, I think we're live. Okay. It's a bit late, probably won't be going for too long today, but I wasn't sure what to do tonight, so I'm going to be solving some more cases. I'll pick up where I left off on 2023. Right, here we go. So just going to share that screen. I think if I share just the window, that might be a kind of better viewer experience. I just like work in a smaller area of the screen, so I'm just gonna try that today. I can kind of resize this a bit. Looks like it kind of actually kills the window when you kind of do whatever I just did there. So let's share that again. Although it will mean that I can only, I can't have two view windows open. I can only have one. So I'm not sure about it. So start with, we've got Past the Arrows, which was a very nice case by Peter. I did compete on this one live. I think I defeated Anoop on this, which was quite a result. Anoop's a very strong player. I think I just managed to squeak it out with a few points. I'm quite lucky there. I actually am also realizing you can't see the timer, so I'm going to back away from this, and I'm just going to share the whole screen. I hope you don't mind. I will try I'm not sure I remember to do this, but I will try, if I remember, to kind of zoom in and let you read the instructions a little bit as well. So don't need that. Don't need that. Cool. Okay. So Past the Arrows is a game where you roll two plastic arrows, I guess dice with arrows on, and accumulate points based on the positions. In this version of the game, the goal is to accumulate as many points as possible through a set number of rolls. This is the scoring structure. So you sometimes score them in pairs, and sometimes you score them as single arrows. So I guess if it's not on this list, then you would add up the two individual arrows. The end turn roll gives 0 points. I guess is that the bust roll, I suppose? No, it's not the bust roll. It's this one. I guess we'll find out what the end turn roll means later in the case. And the bust roll will reduce all accumulated points to 0. That makes sense. Okay, I think let's start the timer and get started. So I've zoomed in a lot here, see how it goes. Okay, so here we've basically got to look up, I should probably name these something. So call this double R's, call this double points. Okay, well, I'm just going to use DBL for double on both. Already tell I'm off to a good start here. So XLOOKUP, this in double arrows, double points. That did not work. It's not in there. So if it's not in there, I want to look up the individual ones. So call that. And actually, what I should probably do is read all the questions. Because that's might put me in better stead for how I prepare things now. But for now, let's go if error, sum left of this. And what we want to do with that is we want to XLOOKUP it in single rows, single points. Maybe what I should do is I should take this if error thing and make it a lambda, because I have the feeling this is going to come up a lot. Right, so G43, single arrows, single points throughout the case. I did too many arguments. That's because I need to close this right. Ooh, bust. And I guess when you bust, the answer has to be numeric, I would guess. So let's go with 0. So let point lookup that, and then we want to if is text point lookup, and then it's going to be 0, otherwise it's going to be point lookup. Cool. Okay, so what are the questions? So we've got some bonuses here. How many times did the most prevalent single arrow position occur? I would guess that's not kind of within the games working out which ones were counted as single arrows and double arrows, but just the arrow full stop, just because that seems like a more sensible bonus one. What is the highest number of consecutive rolls without a double arrow being rolled in a single game? And I guess you have to take them in pairs, in twos. What's the highest score that occurred over 10 consecutive rolls in a given game? So I guess we're going to have a lot of games down here. Disregard the sequence of players. Okay. So we've got points in a single roll. We've got kind of for one person points across 10 rolls. And you have to remember to kind of count the bust stuff. And 2-player games. That seems the same. But we have the end of turn thing. Oh, I guess ET must be end of turn. Okay, that checks out. So end of turn returns the current turn scores to 0. And level 5, which is the last level. So it's not kind of a fixed number of rolls per turn, but you roll it until you get an end turn or a bust. Okay, and then this is max roll. So I guess this is how many times they roll unless they get one of these, and then it switches back over to the other player. Fine. Cool. So what are we going to do? These don't seem related particularly to each of the levels, so I'm just going to worry about those at the end. I'm going to set up a model because I think I'll need one, and that'll be starting at level 2. And I know it's causing me some grief recently, but I will set up a second window just for this. Probably keep that timer on screen, shouldn't I? Stick it there. Cool. So, example 2. And then we want to index. People have ways of doing this. So I should probably get one. But it's not really in the spirit of things. Clearly, if I was trying to maximize performance, I would. But I don't like stuff that's specialized just for the competition. And okay, you can argue with some Lambda approaches and things. It adds something. It adds a level of skill and design and whatever. But yeah, it's like new players are playing on hard mode without this kind of thing, which makes the difficulty balancing and everything a bit harder. Okay, so I'm going to take these arrows 2 at a time. So let's go mid of this, a sequence of length of that. I should have a lambda for this actually. I can't access it from there, but I can from there. Equals split text, which is don't name your functions like this. So I'm going to transpose that. I should probably make them return horizontal by default. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go sequence of count a. Oh, actually, it's always the same. So there's 10 rolls. So I'm going to go sequence of 10. I'm going to go equals take that, and we're going to take 2 columns. And we're going to drop 11. No, we're going to drop that. I'm going to drop exactly this many minus 1 times 2. doesn't work. It's because the take has to go on the outside. There are lots of ways to do this. I can't remember what I did originally. It's probably whatever it was. It was probably better than this, to be honest. But this is now working, so that's good. Cool. All right, so now we can use our. Basically, we can stick these back together again, and then we can go and use whatever we made up here. And one reason to use let is so you only have to drag this kind of thing up once. You know, if you're keeping your variables such that they're stated one time instead of every time. And then I don't want the if error thing anyway. No, I don't want the if text thing anyway. So I'm going to get rid of this let here, and I'm going to get rid of this thing. We'll just return the point lookup. Cool. And then we'll have our score. So let's make our score. It's going to be going to start at 0. It's going to be equals if this equals bust, then 0. Otherwise, it's going to be if this equals et 0, and otherwise it's going to be this. And then split the wall is going to be that plus the above. So we get our points going up, and then we go bust, and then we start getting more points again. Hopefully that's right. Seems fine there. Link. What do I want to link? I want to link this over. God, so many messages. Oh, look at that. And it worked. Excellent. Okay, so now we've got 2 player games. I don't know how many, but I'm sure we'll find out. Definitely seems longer. So it's now 40, so now I want like 20 for each one. So let's make this 20. Or rather than making that 20, let's just kind of copy this whole thing over. Say we're going to drop that times 4 here. So that takes the first 2, then the kind of 2 after another 2 have been skipped. And we'll do the same here, except we'll also add 2 because this is going to be player 2. So each player's turn is 1 roll of 2 dice. First 2 arrow, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that seems right. And then the question is how many points are accumulated by the winning player? So that's going to be the max of this and this. And then we have to make sure that we're looking at the correct levels. Cool. I don't think I remembered to save a copy of this before I started, but oh well. Okay, so 10 minutes in, we've done 3 out of 5 questions. Pretty good. Example 4. Hello, example 4, wake up. Okay, I think the data tables are messing with me a little bit. So actually, we've now got the rule about kind of dynamic turns. So what I'm going to do is move this around a bit so the dynamic stuff has more room to flex, basically. So this can go down here. No, can it go down there? No, I think I'm going to have to work horizontally. So this is going to, instead of being sequence of 10, it's going to be sequence of this number over 2. Each player will roll 3 times unless they roll an end turn or a bust, at which point it becomes the next player's turn. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get rid of this whole doubled thing, actually. So I'm going to Alt-HE that. And we're going to have a kind of thing that tells you which player it is down here, and it's always going to start with player 1. Okay, so this is the stuff I want. This is the score. So we want P1 score and we want P2 score separately from that. So if this is equal to 1, then that, otherwise it's just whatever's above. And the same exact formula there, except instead of being player 1, it has to be player 2. And instead of that above, it's this above. Cool, okay. And then we'll always have 40, we can always have 40 turns, yes. So what, oh yeah, so I need to undo the change I made here. And there we go, that's our 40 turns. Nice. So I'm also just gonna have a running turn count. And then if it's been three turns in a row, the running turn count is going to be, well, it's always going to start with 1. And it's going to be equals, and I basically just want to, from the bottom, say how many times am I still the same player. So it's almost like I want to match from below. Something that's not an exact match. So regex and then a not, but I don't know how to do this, to be honest. So that's what you would do if you knew what you were doing. But well, okay, I'm just gonna go equals if this equals this, and otherwise it's going to be running turn count is 1. So actually, it's probably better to handle those cases in the early commas. So let's go if that is not equal to that 1. I'm just hang on. No, I was having to stop and think and see if there's a better way to do this. Okay, so what I could do is just go with 3 columns and go that equals that. Same thing equals that. And same thing. You see how like immediately after you sit down, you immediately say, oh, hang on, there's a better way to do this. It takes no time at all. So if all, and actually I think what I want to do is basically have this be that 1. Yeah. So if these are all true, all last 3 were same player, and then you always switch. And then, so let's have switch player here. So switch player is either going to be last turn was is text of last turn, basically. It's going to be all of that to make sure this goes up as well. So those are both going to be false. Cool. So running turn count is 1. Player is going to be equals if switch player. It's going to be well, I know to have a really fancy trick for doing this on flower power. Let's try it. Substitute 1, 2. Substitute that away. So with that, and otherwise just that. And then I want to make sure this is a number. Now that this is a bit, you don't need to do this, but it looks very cool. So there's no harm in doing it. Okay, so something's not quite right here. This isn't right. We don't need this. Why? They can't be having the same score. This hasn't been copied down. Okay. And then it's still not right. So player one makes these 3 rolls, and then actually they're still. Oh, this is turn 4. Yeah. Okay. So actually, we don't need this one. So that equals that, and that equals that. No, hang on. It's not right. So turn 1, turn 2. So they've had their 3 turns here, but they're now getting a 4th turn, right? So something's definitely wrong here. Specifically, this should be saying true, and it's not saying true because of this check. So, okay. So play 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, and then we get a bust. And then what's going on here? So we get player 1 rolls an enter, player 2 rolls an enter, and it goes back to player 1. Something is not right here, and I don't know what. So what about this? True, true, true. This doesn't seem right. I don't know why. No, hang on. Player 2, player 2, player 2, and switch. Okay, maybe that is right. Hmm. Let's check. So we're definitely on example 4. We're definitely pulling in the right row. So this is right. So if the player is player 1, then actually do things, otherwise do nothing. That seems reasonable. Remember the end of turn. Oh, here we go. So remember that end of turn reverts the current turn points to 0. Oh god, this is complicated, isn't it? Okay. So this is a case where the player is rolled an end turn, and end turn here. That doesn't actually matter though, because all of them are the first piece of a turn somebody's on. I will nonetheless have turn score, though. Hmm. So let's have previous rolls from turn player. So this is going to be this to index. Well, I basically want like a while loop, right? So let's just start down here somewhere. This row here. Reduce. And the initial value is going to be naught, and the array is going to be kind of the previous 3, and the function is going to be lambda av, and it's going to be actually, let's have the initial value being this. No. That is going to be if this equals the value, then it's going to be a plus 1. Otherwise a, but it's more than that. It's going to be if that equals that to the value. Saw Dim do this on Clash on Titan. Okay, let's try that. That seems to be working. Okay. So sadly, can't like check it here. Maybe I can check it on another level. Let's try level 51. I actually think I'm probably going to get a lower score than I did on the actual competition here. Somehow I wrangle out a way to do this. I don't know what this next 5th level changes. Oh, it changes this max rolls instead of 3. Okay, so I guess this number is going to have to be. You're going to have to make this dynamic somehow. Fine. How many points did I got? I think I got 600. Yeah, 600 and something. The actual one. So I must have got this level 4 out somehow. Well, I've still got a little bit of time. I guess 0 would be an appropriate guess as well, if you end on a bust for both players. Okay, so if it's going to be end of turn, it's actually going to be index this. It's going to be 0 minus index of that. And we want to go up 3. And the index is going to be 4 minus this. I guess what we should do is we should try to. Oh, look. Oh no, that's not right. What we should do is try to make 3 dynamic. So let's go 3. And let's just try to do level 5 at the same time since we're doing it anyway. So instead of 4, well, I guess maybe something's going wrong with the 4 minus here. So 4 minus 1 is going to be 3, index that 3. Oh yeah, this is going to be a sum, isn't it? Let's do that here as well. Cool. And then instead of 4, we want this number plus 1. We want this number plus 1. Nice. Okay, let's go back to the example 4. Hard, yes, that is an appropriate description of the level of difficulty here. And I will actually have to do more of this, right? So I guess I could use offset here. What's the kind of maximum number? The maximum number is 8. So if we go sequence of 8, transpose sequence of 8. Hope everyone's having fun to watch me struggle with this in the future. And then we want to basically go offset 010 and rows 0 minus that. And then I guess column is going to be 0. So that's how offset works. And all last n was same player. It's going to be and take that of this minus 1. So this player's played 3 times. What is this value here? It's 1. What is this value here? Right, so I didn't lock the columns. Okay, it's still not working. So 1, 1, 1. Actually, there's an option for 2 as well, potentially. Is there an option for 1? No. Okay, I think this should still work then. Okay, so here 1 is played 3 times. Oh no. Yeah, because this is about the previous row, right? Yeah. So here, it should be saying true. This one should. Oh yes. So I think I need to. Oh right. Okay, that's why. This needs to be logged. Oh, but it clearly is not Y though. Why is this not true? What the heck? Oh right, because I've taken the wrong argument. God. Okay, here we go. So that's made kind of that stuff dynamic. I'm past my 30 minutes, so I have been beaten by my past self, which is understandable. My past self used Excel a lot more. And I'm going for the full solution. I don't know if I would have gotten level 4 out here though. So that seems fine. This seems fine. So what the heck is going on then? For example 4, the answer is supposed to be 345. I guess we should just play the game and see. So, I mean, I could try to dig up my original solve, but I probably haven't got it anymore. So we get 5. Also, this thing needs to be offset v9 minus this plus 1, 1, 0. Yep. Okay, that seems okay. This needs to point at this. Oh no, is that Y? I really hope not. wouldn't it? Yes, it is y. Okay, brilliant. So we take the max of these, equals sequence of 20 starting at 51, Alt A, W, data table. Yeah, so definitely if you're copying stuff over, double check the references. That's what I've demonstrated for you today. See if this is right. Almost right. Something wrong on level 53. And then I am just, because I've got it, I'm just going to check final level as well. Calc error. Oh, right, yes, okay, fine. I won't check that yet then. Let's instead first have a go at 53. Also, I'm just double check there's no... Yeah, there's nothing that depends on level 4 or 5 in the bonuses. 53. So something's wrong here. I'm getting 305. Maybe something to do with the end turns. So what player am I when I end my turn here? I'm player 2. And I'm going back to having 285 points, which doesn't seem right because this number, this kind of, that we never previously had 285 points, so I don't see how we could possibly have that many points. So instead, let's get rid of this. And then go offset of myself. And then we're going to go up that much. We're not going to change columns. And we're actually not going to add that on either. So this plus x43 is going to go in here. Cool, so I'm going to copy that up, and then I'm also going to have to put that on player 1. A bit apprehensive about, because we messed this up last time, but let's hope be more careful this time. And then this has to be player 1. Okay, so I'm now getting 310, which kind of isn't that different an answer, but it's still not right. So let's just have another look at this. So 305, and then I get roll an end of turn here, and it sets me back to actually where I was before my previous turn. So I think that means I do actually want not to go +1, but to remain where I am. Let's try 290. Okay, that's right. Excellent. And then because of what we did earlier, we can now very easily swap this over, hopefully, to example 5. It's going to basically take this, stick it here, and then move this over 1 column, column H. And now we're actually getting spill errors. Oh, okay. So the number of like rolls has gone up. And then I'm going to just copy all these formulas down. Hopefully it's the same number of rolls for each level. If it isn't, I am screwed. What am I getting? I don't, oh yeah, fine. Max of this, 587, that seems right. And then I want level 71, and there are 30 of them. So we'll get rid of this, and I'll just do that again. Data table, column input cell is going to be this. There we go. So although, not all right, but mostly right. Don't see any particular patterns in the max roll number here. suppose they're all relatively big ones that are wrong, 4 and 4 being the smallest. Let's take a look. Number 81. Of course, there's a lot to kind of look through here. Number 81, I'm getting, sorry, not number 81. Number 80. Yeah, game 81, like, yeah, game number 81. Okay. So I'm getting 371. There's a lot of kind of end turn going on here. So it might be something to do with that. So we've got bust. We go bust again. Go back to player 1. You get an end turn. And why should my end turn? My end turn is giving the wrong answer for sure. Saying I've got 3 previous turn rolls from player, but actually I have 4. Oh, okay. So the issue is that this reference is not being adjusted properly. So offset of 09, basically minus that, 0 minus that, plus 1, and 0 columns offset. So yeah, basically I just missed one of the, ooh, that's interesting. So I've somehow got it more wrong now. Where was I? Where was I just now? Oh yeah, this formula here. Okay, so this is not locked. This new thing I put in isn't locked. There we go, and that's all right now. 39 minutes, that's pretty reasonable, I think. Although I'm sure Dim got 1250 points on this. How many times did the most prevalent single arrow position occur, excluding the examples? I guess that's across all the levels. As I kind of said on previous ones, I'm not a big fan of this type of question because it just rewards people who have the kind of prepared macro. That's okay though. So let me get the list of unique arrows. I don't have a unique arrows thingamabob. So for instance, when I was doing Lana Goes Ice Skating, I was not relatively hindered. And then I'll do a 2 call this. I guess there are only 5 levels, so it's kind of more reasonable at the time. Actually, all of these are like single cells, aren't they? I'll just go split text of this. Transpose of split text of that. That's excluding examples. I think that's only giving me the first one of each. Okay. Mid of this sequence of 2. Okay. Oh, no, hang on, I've got a better idea. Let's go equals is number, find, yeah. So let's go is number, find, so actually, I was talking nonsense on this one. Oh no, because you're excluding the examples. Never mind, I'm not talking nonsense. Okay, I'm just going to kill the examples because we don't need them anymore. And then I'm not talking nonsense again. Cool. So equals find. I'm going to find that in here. I actually want to count occurrences. So maybe I'm not talking nonsense again. Let's do len. No, let's let range equal that. Let's do len of range minus len of range. So it should all be zeros, but in this range, we're going to substitute that with nothing. And then we're going to sum that. Okay, so I think that gets you there. There was a question. How many times did the most prevalent single arrow position occur, excluding the examples? Most prevalent is going to be 837, which is going to be this one, and that will be the answer. And apparently it won't be. Is there a bigger number than 837 here? There isn't, no. Am I not going far out enough? No, because everything is, you know, it's all in this like H column. I could even just go to like H. I'm definitely going down far enough. Oh, hang on. I didn't lock this. Could that be why? Yes, 840. Always lock your references. Okay, what is the highest number of consecutive rolls without a double arrow being rolled in a single game? Each roll is 2 arrows. Okay. So almost just want to split all of these up over 2 turns, but that's, you know, it's an array of an array, right? So it's a bit tricky. I could just go equals mid of this, starting at, let's always go in column S. Let's go mid of this, starting at a sequence len of that over 2. I'm going to start at 1. I'm going to go up in 2s. We're going to mid 2. Cool. And then we're going to map that to lambda x left x equals right of x. And then we're going to sum n. Okay, so if we drag that down to there, cool. And then what was the question? Highest number of, oh god, highest number of consecutive rolls without a double arrow. So actually we don't want to sum it. We want to find the longest chain of zeros, which is probably going to be down here, level 5. But it could conceivably be in level 4 as well. Let's just bring that down to there and see if we can just eyeball it. This one looks pretty long. Let's see if this would have worked as an approach. Oh no. Len of that, 43. Does eyeballing work? Yes, it does. Look at that. Heck yeah. Who says you need to solve the cases? Just look at them and write down the answers. What is the highest score which occurred over 10 consecutive rolls in a given game? Disregard the sequence of players. Okay. So did I have a beautiful, clean way to do level 2? No. Okay, let's go. This is level 7. Oh, okay. I had this beautiful, nice way of doing. Like, there's not going to be any busts or end turns or anything, right? So, um, if I'd done level 2 a different way, it might have helped me do this one, to be honest. But it's kind of a bit late for that now. Maybe I can look at this table and decide that long sequences of double arrows are what I'm aiming for, or something. But I don't think so. Okay, well, what I think what we should do is basically go get this thing here, get rid of this N thing and this map thing. Don't want those anymore. So this is our kind of scores, and then basically for each of these, we want to like look at a window of 10 and move it along. Um, I am only going to do this on level 4 and 5 as well. But for each of these, we do want to map these, but we want to map them to lambda x, and then, well, let's just go x. But actually, I want to map them to this thing. So it's going to be x. It's going to be x. So yeah, the bonuses are quite tricky here. I do wonder, maybe Dib didn't get all marks. Well, maybe I'm just missing a really easy way to do these bonuses. That's probably more likely. Okay, so I've basically got my formula. Just drag it down here. Just stick at the bottom. And then want to take this, go here. Take this, go here. I want like 30 of these. And then I'm just going to go equals sum 10, 13. Let's just try plugging an example. Sorry, this level 5 version, because I'm sure the maximum would be there. Well, it's more likely at least 330. So let's check out with this. Yeah, that's kind of a lot of doubles you need to get 330, but it's not right. Okay, let's try level 4 then. So instead of H160, I want to do G129. 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 And what is the max of this? There's some errors here. Aggregate 96. That does not seem right. That's a sum. I don't want a sum. I want a max. 380. What did I say? 330. Okay, so it could just be that it was on level 4, and yes, it was. Okay, excellent. Let's pass the arrows. It's done. Jump scare here for anyone who did the case over the weekend. Not that. Let's go here, and then here, here. And let's do cricket darts. We've done Lana Banana, so yeah, let's do cricket darts. What date is it today? It is 25th of Jan, I think. Yes, it is. What a nice background. Cool. So I'm going to imagine the case video is like explaining this stuff. So let's create a darts scoring model again. I don't know what the again means. I guess that was another darts case at some point. Darts is a game that is typically played by some number of players between 2 and 4. Each round, every player throws 3 darts to the dartboard. Dartboard, you can land on kind of one of these 20 segments, but kind of intersecting that, you can land on, I think it's triples and doubles. And alternatively to all of that, you can land on 2 different regions in the middle. It's called bull. I don't know why it's called bull. It should be called the red spot, probably. The laser pointer. Interesting, like looks like a industrial fan or something. Cool. And then confusingly, this is called 25. There's nothing like visually that tells you it's called 25. It just is called 25. It should be called the laser pointer halo, in my opinion. In cricket, the goal is to open the numbers 15 to 20, open the bullseye, whatever that means, and have a higher score than your opponent. In order to score points, you must first open a number 15 to 20 and bull by earning triple the base points. To open number 20, you need to hit it 3 times by hitting a triple 20, a double, and a single 20, or 3 single 20s. Okay. In any order. Any additional throws in the numbers will result in points, as long as your opponent has not opened the same number. Any throws that hit other numbers will return in 0. So I think this is to score points at all, and then it has to be one of these that you hit to like activate everything else. But I'm sure it'll explain it more later. 25 and the bull act as a pair. A bull counts. Oh no, a bull counts as 2 points toward opening the pair for scoring, and 25 counts as 1 point. Okay. Once the pair is open, darts hitting either of the 2 score as normal. But how many points do you need to open stuff, and what gets opened? A player hits bull 25 minus the score is 50 for the throw. A player hits bull 25, the score is 50 for the throw. The first bull provides 2 points toward opening the pair. The second bull provides the last 1 point to open the pair. So you need 3 points to open a pair, I guess. And this is the only pair. And scores 25. Half point. Oh no, half points because half went toward opening the pair. And the 25 after the pair is open scores 25. Okay, and then level level 5. There's some other rules. Let's hope it starts nice and easy. Okay, we've got more of those slightly janky questions. How many times does a triple hit? I guess I could go equals, so I could do what I was trying to do on the other one. Sum n, find t in here. Sum n is number. So that's how many t's there are in that game. And then I just want to do that for the other levels as well. So I'm just going to go plus. I'm going to copy that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then I'm going to change this reference to be this. change. Hopefully the word bull does not have a T in it. I think we're quite lucky in that it doesn't. I don't want to delete the examples yet, but I don't know. I feel like I need a minute after reading that set of instructions. Look at that. Heck yeah. It's going to paste values. Across all the game numbers, what is the total point value of all the shots into sectors 1 and 14? Do you include the opening rules? I don't know. It doesn't say. The sector that was hit the most number of times. All the separate sectors. So this is going to be Dim's most of, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pray that including the examples doesn't affect the answer. And probably shouldn't, given 61 sectors. Let's find out. Oh, actually, I should have started this. Sorry. Still a spell. Okay. So I say it's the bull. And it's not. What is it? 25? No. Oh no, hang on. This is the wrong question. I say it's the bull. So it's 25. No. S15. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. So you can see why going for top ones like this doesn't work out as kind of a real strategy. Let's try D18. Looks like the examples are seemingly quite heavily skewed, or maybe there's something wrong with my formula. If there is, I blame Dim. Surely we must have found it by now. Do we try S17, D18, T17, T16? Did I type bull correctly? Let's just peek at the answer. Oh, how many times was it hit? Okay, I need to learn to read. Cool. So actually, that means that my most of, where we skip everything, it doesn't count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go minus countif. What did I have as 364? Let's see whether the approach did work. Let's see if everything's homogeneous. So -1 for that one. Not minus anything there. Yep. Minus countif. I wonder if I can do countif like this. So countif that is that, or G147, keep going. Like that. What if we do that? Is bull. Probably doesn't like this. Yeah, that's a shame. Nice. So indeed it was bull, so it was quite homogeneous. But I needed to remove the examples. And then, I mean, I would guess that you don't, you don't have to do a thing here. As in, you don't have to open stuff here, but it doesn't say. I mean, I probably need to write a lambda to get the sectors anyway. And like, why do all these freaking questions exclude the examples? I know that's the standard they were using, but it just makes it so much harder. So I guess what I could do is I could, oh my god, is I could go sequence 14. I could go S, T, and double, I guess, would be D, and that ampersand that. And then if I just call that low or something, and then I go, what's the total? Oh no, what's the total point value? Okay, so then we go equals. Well, luckily they're in a nice order. Right, that of 1. Actually, let's go equals 1, 3, 2 equals that times equals that times that, and then 2 col of this, 2 col of this. That's not right. I must have two col too much. Cool. So let's get rid of. Oh no. Let's just go equals x lookup of this in here, turning from here, and otherwise 0. And I guess let's go in column CT for this. Row 61. Don't want the examples. Put that down so there's 20. And here we want 85 to 104. '85 to 104. This seems quite close to the other level. Not missing 83 though, which is the example. They did throw 3 of them here. I89, I87. Maybe I can kind of eyeball the column sizes. I guess that this goes in 115. Also, it can't hurt to just drag that. Nope. I'm going down on this one to 136. 136. Nice. And actually, we want to go for that one. We want to go to, what level is this? Level 3. Ugh. AJ. This seems very slow. Actually, if I deleted the examples, it probably will be a lot faster, but can't do that. And then we're going up to column CR here. I should just take note of what the final column is. It's GE. Cool. Okay. So now we're just going to sum up CT to GE. It's not even right. Oh yeah, because I had my most of. No, that was in J something. It's not even right. So, right, I don't really know. It's not far off. This is somehow offset by a few rows. That's probably why. Yeah, I really don't like this kind of question. I guess this one might be also offset by the same number of rows. I should like re-familiarize myself with how to do this. I don't know how on earth I'm getting the wrong number of rows in there and not noticing. But it's certainly happening somehow. Like, did that even change the answer? It must have, right? Let's say include. If it says including examples, I will be upset. No, it says excluding examples. All the shots into sectors 1 to 4. G65. This is G63. Okay, so just everything is off by 2 rows. I managed to do that the entire time. Okay, there we go. Bloody hell. Okay, let's paste that. Paste that as well. Okay, now let's have a serious attempt at this question. This case. How many points has a player scored? It'll be faster to complete this section manually. No, it won't. Are you kidding? I'm just gonna basically take this, push it down a little bit, go to 20, copy this down more, make sure the 2 cols have it. 2 col down to here, 2 col down to here. Paste values over here. Stick 25, 25, and was it bull? It's going to be 50. This is going to be my points. It's going to be my scores. It's going to XLOOKUP. That in points, in points and scores. I don't know why I called that points. I'll call it location. I don't know, lock. Let's go with lock. Cool. All cricket numbers open for scoring. Okay, so now I need to understand all the like instructions at the beginning. Oh no, it's saying they're already open. Okay. Remember, numbers 1 to 14 do not give any points. They not give any points. What? In here, they're giving points. They're giving point values. How many points is bull giving in? Bull gives us 50. 10, 60 brings us to 70, and the bull is giving us 50. So I'd expect this to be 120, but I'm not understanding something. wish that example here was kind of about example 3. Block scores. Yeah, and this is definitely 120. So, I mean, I'll just take the last 2 and hope that's right, but I don't really get it, to be honest. No. Okay, I guess we need to read these instructions again. I mean, I also just will try adding up all of these without taking anything. No. So even if by earning triple the base points, but here you're scoring 60 and the 50 without triple the base points. Also, it says everything is open for scoring. But it also says remembers number 1 to 14 do not give any points. So I'm going to basically copy this again. And I'm just going to zero out everything that's 1 to 14. And then instead of scores, this is going to be other scores. I don't know why, but let's go with other scores for the rest of this. Other scores. I can't remember if I did this. I think I must. Yeah, I did this case, and I must have worked this out last time. So I must have just read this. That having not done bonus 3, I think you wouldn't be as confused. There are no examples like here to illustrate the 15 or less thing either. But it does say this, which is helpful. Okay. Okay, let's just close that out and try this again. So more action. One player has 10 turns. Each scoring number must. Okay, so here is where the scoring comes in. So actually, I'm going to open that view window back up, and I'm going to add a new sheet in. So start with example 3, and let's go equals index of this G to AJ. Yeah, it probably would have been easier to spot that if I hadn't already done the thing. Cool. So here are my thingamabobs. Each scoring number must be opened prior to scoring, and you're kind of going in this game of 3. You're using kind of game of 3, and what we're targeting. Let's write that here. Targeting 274. So I'm going to do my XLOOKUP of this thing in locations and other scores. I think it would be other scores. So altogether should add up to more than 274, and it does. And then let's have our list of which numbers are open. And also let's just go equals. Okay, so the bull and the 25 are going to be a bit awkward here. So let's go switch. This, if it's bull, then let's just say bull. it's 25, just say 25. And otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to take the right of this. It's going to be the length of that minus 1. That will give us the kind of number at the end, and we're going to take the value of that. And that's kind of the sector that we're hitting, which I think is what this is basically doing. And then what's it say here about? Also, I should probably say equals switch left of this. If it's going to be S, that's going to be 1. If it's going to be a D, it's going to be 2. If it's going to be T, it's going to be 3. Otherwise, it's going to be, I don't know, like, just call it 0 for now. So this is our multiplier. It's our base. This is our score. Okay, so I want to work out whether 15 is open. If you open 20, you need to hit it 3 times, opening triple, double, and a single, or 3 singles. So, but what if you hit like a triple and 2 doubles or something? Any additional throws in the numbers will result in points as long as your opponent has not opened the same number. Okay, for now, I'm just going to assume. Let's see if this level 5 example helps. Closing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, there were rules about opening, closing 25 and bullseye as well, weren't there? What the heck is going on here? Hopefully we don't have to deal with these on this level. Like there are no bullseyes or 25s anywhere here. Nope, there are bullseyes. Okay. Fab. So to open it, you need to hit it 3 times with this. But is it 3 times, or is it these 2 like specific sets that you need to hit? Okay, let's just try 3 times full stop. So let's do COUNTIF this, this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go like that and like that. And then we're going to say calls if index this, no, if index this, and then match this to this. It's greater or equal to 3. Then we're going to take the score, otherwise we're going to 0 it. And it's not greater or equal to, I think it's just equal to. And then if it's an error, we're just going to have 0. And then I want to lock that into that. And we got circular references somehow. Okay. That, at least this has probably highlighted an error with my locking. Yes. And is it 1 error or 2 errors? It's 2 errors. Okay, what score is this? This gives 84. 84, okay. So I do just want to take the final value here, and that's going to be like my answer. new color, plum. So you're hitting double 19, triple 19, hitting double 19 again, and you never get another 19, so that was kind of wasted. So this kind of with 3 hits full stop is like a lowercase, but my score of 84 is lower than what I'm targeting of 274. So must be something else wrong. Must open a number by earning triple the base points. Now, I don't want to give up on any cases, but I just feel like this is really, really unclear. I really have no idea what I'm meant to be doing. All right, so actually, this could be a sum. Oh no, that is a sum. Never mind. Let's make the rolling sum. So this is going to be my if waiting for all 3. That's what I'm going to call it. And I'll have a rolling sum of this score here. Come score, yes. Very funny. Okay, 0, that plus that. And actually keep everything dynamic. I think scan is the way to go. Scan that. Array is that. The function is sum. Do I have the function? Yes, I do. Okay, so I have got that update, and I can write my lambdas like that. So if I'm getting, what am I targeting? I'm targeting 274. If I just go equals that minus that and drag this along, maybe it'll equal 274 at some point. No. Okay, so you're not kind of getting to a point and then unlocking everything all at once. We can rule that out. Oh no, hang on. This is hitting a triple 20, a double and a single, or 3 singles. So one single triple 20 will unlock it. Okay. So basically I need to change this formula here to, instead of being a COUNTIF, it's going to be equals this equals this. Let's get rid of all this. That equals that. That. I don't know how I did well on this on the original one, because I did do well on it, but I'm totally lost coming back to it now. Maybe all my brain power died the last year or so. Well, at least in Excel. Okay, so I mean, let's just lock everything properly. Drag that down to number 19. Carry on from there. How can there possibly be circular references here? There's circular reference. Please don't let there be circular references. I mean, it doesn't look like there are circular references. Alt M, I think it is. Error checking. No circular references. Okay. Actually, it's the time to plug the Oak circular references tool if I have it. I don't have it. Have I got an Oak update I can get? Oh. Oh yeah, this is the other version, isn't it? Okay. I think it's because I've given like a special account for being Opera's person. Yeah, so it doesn't even like bother checking for updates like that. Well, you're meant to update it in a different way, basically. The installer. Okay, anyway, D19, like that. This is my 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sum that up. Okay, now I've got 311, which is too high. Okay, so we've got a double 19. And actually, what we want to do is we want to go want to put this kind of one column before. It's now back under again. But I think I remember reading in the rules, if you're going over 3 and you're kind of only just over 3, then you take kind of the partial version of the score. So God. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that, but instead of 0 here, I'm going to say, actually, let's just call this like fully unlocked already. Fully unlocked already. Let's do this whilst unlocking. So to be whilst unlocking, copy that formula, paste it there. Okay. Whilst unlocking, so if this basically is greater than 3, and the same thing, except the previous one is less than 3, or equal to 3, I guess. So if and those conditions, then it's going to be, oh God, okay. Let times hits be this this index match, no, this match thing here. Yes. Let's times hit be this match thing. This times hit. And then let's let current, also let's do post lock is going to be equal to this one. Post lock, this one's going to be pre-lock. Okay. So if and the pre-lock is less than or equal to 3 and the post-lock is greater than 3, and what we want to do is take our base score, which is going to be this, times the post-lock minus 3. Okay, let's try that. So here we're getting 38, which seems right. And we're going to go to 9. 274. 274. Heck yes. Cool. So sequence of 20, 31. As you can see, Lana Banana, which I did last time, is by far the easiest of these cases. Like, my god. People's... I should probably have ranked past the arrows higher on my difficulty tier list. Okay. Getting some errors here. Notice there are some bullseyes. And yeah, we didn't I guess we did consider it here. There's a bullseye and a 25. Are there any like 25s where there are bullseyes here? So is there a 25 here? No. Is there a 25 here? No. Is there a 25 here? No. Okay. So I guess let's see whether the bullseye is scoring anything in our solution for level 33 at the moment, which isn't really what you should be like solving a case with, but knowing what the answers are in advance, I think it will help me though. Okay, so the bullseye is not currently scoring anything, and I think in order to get these other ones, I'm going to have to basically make the bullseye score if the bullseyes unlock according to those like overcomplicated rules here. Okay, so so let's call this bullseye points. It's going to be equal to, if this equals bull, it's going to be equal to 2. Otherwise, it's going to be equal, well, so let's go switch bull. It's going to be equal to 2. 25 is going to be equal to 1, and otherwise it's going to be equal to 0. Let's just like add on the previous one here as well. Cool. So there's my bullseye points. And then bullseye score, so switch. So basically, if this is greater than or equal to 3, If the previous one is greater or equal to 3, then I'm just going to do the current score. If this is equal to 2, then I'm going to do if okay, so firstly, if not or this equals bool, and same thing equals 25, then 0, we don't care about those cases. Then if f3 is equal to bool, then you can see kind of let here would maybe cut this down a little bit. If that is equal to bool, then we want 25, I think. And otherwise we want 0. Not all at 0, if that greater than 3, and then if that is equal to 2, like that. Cool. And what level am I on where I'm checking this stuff? Level 42. So there should be a non-zero number in here. Yeah, 50. Okay, so now I just want to sum up that other row as well. Yes, okay, there we go. That's a bit complicated. On this throw, which throw will all of the numbers be opened? Okay, well that's at least nice and easy. So example 4, actually let's see if it's got any wider. Yes, it has. We want to go to CR now. We don't think any of the formulas here like look across the whole range. Nice. And then basically I want everything here to be bigger than 3, I think. So that bigger than 3 and or equal to 3. Cool. So now I'm going to match this go all the way along. Yeah. Match true in here. And I should go with Dex match. 49. That seems correct. And then these levels are going to be down to 51. Heck yeah. Okay, that was all right. And then level 5, which is hard. There's 2 players. And there is the board closing. So I'm going to clone that, make level 5. Okay, so let's try to work out what closing the board means. Once both players have opened, oh no, you have to track this like for both players. Once both players have opened a given number, neither player can score from that number again. So only one player can ever score from any given number. So in the game, a player needs to have opened all numbers and be on a higher score. What's the winning point total? Okay, so I basically need like 2 of this, I guess. and then like this is my original thing I'm bringing in. So I'm going to split that up into two and copy the workings down. Somehow managed to break this. Right. Okay. Example 5, all the way to CR again. I think I remember this matched, so that's fine. And what am I aiming for? Aiming for 64. Cool. So they're taking it in turns. So what I'm going to do is just basically go through this list and say equals. Well, we're going to do equals sequence of columns all this. Yep. And I'm going to go equals mod that's 6 minus 1.5 minus 2 is abs that's less than or equal to 1. These are going to be my players, and then I can filter this where that is going to be player 1. And these aren't the same width because I missed the first column. And then, same thing except with a not here. So this is going to be player 1, this is going to be player 2, this is going to be my player 1 table. All of this work is going to be player 1. So let's see where this points. I will just close the other window for this. Let's see where this points. Okay, it points at 1, whatever. Let's paste values over that. Or we probably shouldn't have pasted values for that. I'll make it full screen because it will be very. You can't see my nice timer. Can't see if anyone's watching. Although Saturday night, this hour, I doubt it. Lots of chats going on. Lots of discussion about Wisdaval's case, which is nice. Cool. So where is this pointing? It's pointing at rows 4 and 5, 4, 5, 10, 14. Oh my god. It's pointing at a lot of things. Okay. So I'm just going to go through all of these, change it to be player 1. I guess we just go F2, F4. That'll probably do it. Oh. Okay, what did we do? We replaced F2 with F4. Replaced. Okay, so let's copy that across. Yeah, let's copy that across. Copy that across. Copy this across. And of course, we only need to actually go half the distance because it's split between 2 players. Nice. This is going to be like 7130 again. Get rid of the data table. So hopefully this is now scoring my player 1. Oh, that would be my circular reference. Cool. This is player 1 opened. So now I'm going to copy this again. Maybe a little bit more room. Copy this again. Player 2. Should probably just copy literal here. No. Oh. Okay, well, it's now all pointing at F24, which is actually a bit safer to replace. That's good. So we want to replace F24 with F5, I guess that is. Copy that across and fix this spell nonsense. And there we go. Okay, so game end. So actually, we want both their running total scores. So it's going to do equals sum this plus that. Copy that across. Same here. And then basically, I want to know when the game ends, what turn it is, and who has the most points at that time, and therefore who wins. I'm just going to check all of this to make sure it's not pointing at the other table. It's not a table, you know what I mean. And indeed it is. And then this one seems okay. Cool. So the game ends when both players have opened, which is going to be this number here. But it's also going to be the other number if it is smaller. What row is that? That's row 45. It's going to be turn 11, and then it's going to be equals max of index this, that, and the other one. And the other one is this one, 64. So this is going to be my answer. Cool. So let's give that a try. Alt A, W, data table, column input cell, 5. Cool. So clearly something's wrong with level 95, but the other ones don't work either. Fab. Her. Oh yeah, because of the idea of locking. Idea of locking, closing pieces of the board, which I didn't implement. And yet the example is correct. I guess they made it a short example so they could kind of explain it here, but I would have expected the locking to kind of come into effect in the example. Like, I'd hope. I don't know. Okay. So my score is going to be way too high, most likely. I will just check that against here. 278, 25, yeah, too high, basically. So what I want to do is, as well as having this score column, is I want to kind of not count it. So let's get rid of the kind of sum of previous. So new scores in new score in. And then not on closed and not on closed. So basically, if is number match the base in here, if that's a number, now we're going to go let match number be this. So if is number match number, then we're going to index of this by match number. It's going to be greater or equal to 3. And otherwise, we're going to say, and well, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to so we're going to go equals index of F40, F45, match number less than 3. And that's going to be our, has the other person still got it unlocked? But alternatively, it could be like a bullseye or whatever. And in those cases, I want to go is about less than or equal, or sorry, less than 3. So that's going to be my kind of, we need this to score points. See how this gets on. Seems okay. Let's copy this down here, and then we'll have to move. I'll have to move this stuff up. So this one's going to have to go there, and this one's going to have to go there. So example 5 is no longer giving 64, which is what we say in England. We say it is bad. So I did have 65 until just now. I mean, this stuff is still cumulative, whereas this one isn't. Okay. $64. Yeah, so I definitely want the cumulative of the new score as well. Okay, but I am definitely now getting 64 instead of 65, which is worrying. And then this thing is going to be a max of these ones. Call 64. Oh no, it is 64. Oh, never mind. Maybe this is right after all. Let's have a look. So once again, I'm getting that error on that one level. I'm getting a couple of them right. Not all of them though. Let's solve this NA issue first. So number 95. We're getting NA. Why are we getting NA? It's because one of the players never closes. So I could go. I don't know if aggregate works like this. You could try it. Ignore error values 5, 6. No, it doesn't. Okay. Maybe min A? No, it doesn't. What about min daemon? Ooh. No. Okay, let's just go if error of a gazillion. If error a gazillion. There we go. So my new answer for that level with the NA is going to be this. It's another wrong one. Okay, so any patterns in the ones that aren't wrong? So I see a bullseye there. Is there a 25 in this space? Yes, there is. Are there? There's only one, and it's kind of quite near the end. This is a bit difficult to debug, to be honest. What I'll do is I'll just check for the sake of, going to bed at some point. I'll just check, whether the answer numbers are somewhere in my solution file. So let's go for 71. And then the answer for 71 should be 278. And what am I getting? I'm getting 218. 278. So they're not. It's not getting counted. 278. So this would be 60 off. So it'd be 1 triple 20 off. Any triple 20s here? There's a triple 20 here. You score in being 40 because it says it's during an unlock because there's only seen a double 20 so far. There is a single. Oh no, it'll be 2 single 20s, yeah. Okay, so I think I agree with that triple 20 not being hit. Oh, right. So for when player 1 goes, they're actually looking not at player 2's current turn. They're looking at player 2's previous turn, aren't they? So that's the first mover advantage needs to be accounted for here. Because we can't kind of play simultaneously. Does that change the answers? 218. No. Get me a few more. Gives me a few more. Okay. Is there anything else I'm missing for? For when I copied everything over? Yes. No. Yes. This one's looking at the other table, but it's meant to look at the other table, I think. $18 is not locked, but I haven't unlocked it either. So maybe it's the 25s, right? No, it's not. All of the other levels worked. It's definitely something I've done, and I've done a lot of work on this one, so it's definitely something I've done on this one specifically. I mean, example 5, I got that right, so it's not going to be in there. I've opened all numbers and be on a high score. So I guess they could be tied, and then it could go on a little bit further, and I haven't modeled that. But then oh, they are tied in this case. Bloody hell, that's evil. But if they're both tied, then every number is surely, well, apparently not. Apparently not every number is surely locked. If there's a 60 here, that this person has opened 20. This person doesn't open everything until like all the way over here, and they haven't opened 18. But do we get any 18s? No, we don't get any 18s in that range. We get a lot of 25s though. So here we're getting 25 points from a bullseye because we're going from 2 bullseye points to 4. This is the authentic experience of trying to work out why your model isn't working. Probably not in the case because we're kind of way over the time here. But it's not very obvious to me right now why this isn't working. Okay, if they're tied, you know what? Let's look at a level where they hopefully aren't tied. Let's look at level 73. Got these worksheets all out of order. Just gonna stick level 4 all the way in the end, and stick case before level 5. Don't need this one either. You're on 73. First question, are they tied? No. Okay, so there's something wrong here, and they're not tied. So you get your 2 bullseye points. You get your 3rd bullseye point, you get no points for that, and then you get your actual bullseye, and you should get points for this, except the other person has already opened the bullseye. Does the bullseye get locked? Maybe the bullseye doesn't get locked again. I mean, it talks about a given number. I mean, I wouldn't expect this to be different, really, for the bullseye. Hmm. But maybe you keep scoring the bullseye? No, because the gap on the first one was 60 points. The gap on this one is 419. 419, that's a big difference. What's that? Minus 419. 138, that's a huge difference. Sorry, what was the answer? It's 4-1. Do we see a 419 here somewhere? No. I really don't want to give up. Have we got? So we should have a S16 here. Yeah. B16 here, yeah. That's by S16, you get your 16 unlocked, and then you get 32 points from that. So that's right. I don't think I'm a very entertaining YouTuber. I'm sure somebody in the audience can empathize, though. It's like I'm totally stuck here, really. I could go and just like watch one of Dim's videos or something and see if I can determine from that what the issue is, but obviously you can't really do that during the case or your kind of immediate solve afterwards. Let's just remind ourselves what's different between level 4 and level 5. So we split it up into the 2 players. I'm happy with that. Game ends 1 to play. Okay, so in this level, which is wrong, not in 71 where there's a tie, but in this level that is wrong, it's not a tie, so it should just end when everything is unlocked. So I'm just going to look over this quickly. So I say the last unlock here is S19. So I see a 19 here, single 19. I see a single 19 here. And I see a single 19 here. So that checks out. For this person, it's the 15 that gets them. So see 15 here. I should see one here, double 15 here. Yeah, and I should see no other 15s. Okay. And then actually it takes quite a while to get an 18. It's triple 18 here as well. I mean, it would be very kind of sporting to have level 2 based on the previous round as well, I suppose. Where is my blue range here? No, it's not that, is it? It's here, that's right. So, I mean, I guess we could just try moving this along, see if it fixes it. No first mover advantage. See if it makes the number of answers that are wrong go up or down. Doesn't change any answers from right to wrong or not. Great. But it does change some of the answers. If anything, it should bring the answers up a little bit, which is what some of them are higher, some of them are lower. Excellent. Okay, let's see if the example tells us about, maybe it gives us a hint around that. Oh, the players can open for each other. Oh. Okay, so I think based on this example 5, which I probably should have looked at it earlier and not dismissed immediately. Go like that. And what I want to do is I want to, instead of this, oh my god, I want to do okay, let's go and just add some rows in here. Then let's go equals sum of this with this. And then let's point both of them at it. So these, nothing should be pointing at this anymore. Oh no, not all sum, but more like this, right? Cool. So this needs moving over to here. Actually, I need the player 1 only and player 2 one separately, which is also incredibly annoying. Just going to copy literal that. So player 1 will have played, but player 2 will not have played. So this is P2, and this is P1. And let's point P1 first. So boom, 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 boom. So this one, I guess, will be fully unlocked already score. Yeah, that seems right. That goes there. This one goes here and here. And why is that suddenly giving 0? Because stuff gets unlocked more quickly. And this one goes down here twice. So I'm now getting 0 points for this guy, which doesn't seem right. I feel like everything is closed. They both open for each other, but they don't close for each other. So new score in. I think this is fine, and then it's just this one that's wrong. It's really complicated. Okay, and then yes, it would then therefore be this one. I mean, if this doesn't work, I think I will probably have to give up, unfortunately. Bullseye score. Okay, new scoring is going to be those three, not unclosed. Yeah, that seems okay, I think. Same here. No, here, not unclosed is like checking that the other player hasn't closed it, but this one needs to be checking that this player hasn't closed it, right? And then there's the individual player openings. Okay, let's give this a try. So, example 5. We're no longer getting 64. Okay. We're now getting everything wrong. Do they open individually? I mean, they have to open individually. Like, that has to be the way the game works, right? So maybe that other one change I did was the issue. Let's just move all this stuff back up. And then move this back up as well. That one. What about this one? Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Move this nonsense up. Drag that along. Move this. Oh. Move this nonsense up. We're doing very well. 2 cases in 2 hours 23. I could probably have done past the arrows faster if I'd made less mistakes. Okay, now we're at 39. Now we're at 39. I've broken everything, and I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I don't see any issues with any of this. I don't think I need this. This is now a ref. What the heck? If ref equals 2. Oh yeah, it's the other bullseye score, isn't it? It's going to be if this equals 2. Okay, there we go. There's my 64. Let's paste this in. No, okay, but we have reproduced. the other thing. Okay, let's go through this again. So yeah, opening it for scoring by player 2. Okay. So you open for yourself, and I should have been able to work that out. Closing 70. Maybe on the throw where you close it, do you get any points for that? That throw. Is this a walkthrough of this T20 S20? Yes, it is. Okay. So whatever is in here is probably right. So the T17 in the second round from player 1. Second round of player 1. It's going to be this. Are we counting this score? We're not counting that score because both players have now opened it, and only one player can ever score on a particular number. Yeah, okay. So that's definitely right. This is definitely right. This is definitely right as well. It's definitely right. Definitely right. Definitely right. I don't know if that's even used. No, it isn't. Get rid of it. So fully unlocked already. So I think this is less than or equal to 3. Maybe that could be our issue. No, because now we're getting 84. Oh yeah, because we did handle this in the other scenario. It probably should be handled here instead, though, to be honest. So let's switch that over. Pre-lock. It's great is less than 3, or post-lock. It's greater or equal to 3. Yes. Mm. F9 star post-lock -3. So if we have a double, it takes us up to 4. And we get 1 set of that points. If we get a triple, and it takes it up to 5, we get 2 of that points. Okay. Bullseye score. So basically, if we've got 3 points already, we can do it. Otherwise, no. Then this is just some of those. That checks out. This one, let match number equal match. Okay, so we're getting the appropriate one of those. If it's a number, we index that. So they basically player two's last turn. And if it's not a number, we check the bullseye points for last turn. from player 2. That all seems right to me. Single 15, single 15, double 15, yeah. I mean, this seems fine, to be honest. That's definitely right. It's definitely right. Hmm. Hello, so my one viewer. You see I'm kind of stuck here. I've just checked every single cell formula I have, and they all seem correct, but I'm not getting the right answers. What would you have me do? I mean, I should probably go to bed, to be honest. But I had a rough time understanding this case. It's kind of quite complicated, and I'm sure there's some rule that is stated here that I'm just missing. So, for example, one of the levels that is wrong is number 73, for example. So if I go to level 5 and I go to number 73, some behavior in here is wrong, and I don't know what. So my answer here is 557, but the intended answer on level 73 is 419. And I think I don't have a 419 anywhere. You could do like a knapsack type problem to work out whether any combinations of these add up to 419, but that's a bit complicated to do. I know it's not very engaging. I'm sorry, but it is authentic. I can say that much. This is how I feel when I get stuck on any of the levels in the cases where I'm kind of not matching the example. So hmm. Is it maybe to do with the fact that we like take these in groups of 3? Because this is the first time the groups of 3 are relevant, actually, isn't it? So I think what I want to do is just insert 3 more columns. And what I basically want to do is when you look at the stuff is closed, you have to look at like 3 ago, and that would bump up the points, which I think most of the time would be better for what I've got. So this not unclosed thing is actually for, it's not for the current turn, it's for kind of the last one of these turns that is relevant. So basically what I'm going to do is go, I want to write a formula where this is basically this 3 times, and then it's 3 over 3 times, like that. So what I can do for that is I can just go equals, I can go, well, I could just go 3, 3, 3, and then equals that plus 3, and drag that all the way along. Then I can go equals index of this by that. Yes, index doesn't work like that. That's a shame. That would be nice. Cool. And then the same thing for down here. And like that. And now when I want to check whether something is locked, which is this one, I will actually look at, well, for this one, I'll look at 1, 2, 3 behind. Yeah. And that goes there as well. And for this one, I will look 1, 2, 3. No, I'll look directly there because player 1 goes first and can lock, like they have a first mover advantage. Cool. So if I now go to example 5, do I still get 64? I do. And then if I copy these answers and paste them, okay, we get more. We get more. That's good. So one of the issues was definitely to do with this threeness, and this example 5 did not kind of have any examples that included the threeness, which I guess makes this a lot harder. Let's go to game number 75 then, see if we can close this out. Persistence. Okay, so game 75, we get 94. Answers say 119. There is 119 here. So why are we not getting 119? Max of index of that. So we're saying that the game ends on turn 16. And the score there is 94. Right, so this, I guess this is also to do with the threeness. I want to know what the score was kind of ahead 2 cells, because this is ending on a kind of on a player 2 turn. So basically, I'm getting this number, and what I want to do is get either this number or this number that are 2 across, because this player 1 has had 3 goes, not just their current 1 go. So that at least we know kind of what the issue is. And what I want to do is take this game ends number. I want to round it up to the nearest multiple of 3. So I'm just going to divide it by 3, round up, and then times it by 3 again. And does that do it? So technically they could. I don't know if this is going to work on player 2, right? But let's see if it changes any of my correct ones to be wrong. Yes, it does. Okay. So we do need to handle like player 1 versus 2 here. Do they win immediately? See if it says here. Player 1 throws. Yeah, they win immediately. Okay. So I don't actually want to do this. I only want to do this if player 1 wins. So let's take this, get rid of that. So winning on turn 16. And then what I want to say is if, copy this, if that one is bigger than that one, then that, otherwise that. So that's 18. And actually, let's just have this separately. So this is going to be P1 wins. And the answer formula is going to be equal to if P1 wins, and then we want to do index of this by that. And otherwise, I want to do index of this by that. Let's try that. Not sure I got all of that right, but no, I didn't. If player 1 wins, what were the conditions for winning again? And one of the players has closed all the numbers and has a higher score. Okay, let's just get rid of all of this. Let's just write 1 in here. Will it always be the turn player that wins? Will it always be the turn player? You know what? I'm remembering something that from one of Dim's solves a while ago, which is that there might be something wrong with this question. That means not all the answers are right. I do think I remember something like that. Let's just do this and see if we can get it to match. So player 1 is out. So actually let's just do the scores kind of in threes, right? So let's do this, but for the score. And then let's have the live score as well. So live end of turn, EOT. Let's have the same thing here. EOT, let's see how, EOT live, yeah. So if in order to win, I need this to be and here, and I need my live score. Actually, we need to move at least this one along 1. In order to win, I need my live score has to be bigger than the end of turn score of the other player. And because this is player 1 looking at player 2, it's 1 behind. I'm going to go and that. And that. Actually, this case is a tie, isn't it? 75, 119, 94. Okay, so, and that bigger than that, and that. Okay, so that would mean I've won. Alternatively, you could just say true here, and then equals that, equals that. Yeah, let's just stick a true and the scores on both of them. All right, so I need to move this index down to here, and it's not a tie. There we go, that's better. Maybe it was never a tie. Maybe it was always that I was doing something wrong. Okay, so this is that, and then I want an equivalent down here. But this thing is moved because we want to check that it's bigger than the end of turn score of the other player. It's never bigger. Okay. So then the winning turn is going to be equal to X match true in here. And equal to X match true in here. It's actually going to be the, not that one, this one. It's going to be the min of those. So this is the winning turn. And the winning player is going to be equal to X match of that in here. So what I want to do is equals if this equals 1, then I want to take index of live score. I don't think you finish your turn. That, and otherwise I want to do index of live score. That. Bloody hell. Okay, so now I get 119, which does match the answer. Okay. Let's try example 5, see it's still equal to 64. It better be. Yes, it is. Okay, let's try these answers. And oh my god, okay. We got there. So it was the threeness, which I'd honestly completely forgotten about because it wasn't relevant for any of these other levels, and it wasn't relevant for example 5. Yeah. This was a bit of a struggle. I think game cases, it's quite difficult. I'd call this a game case. I know that Grant and others have different ways of classifying them. I would call this a game case, and I think it's quite difficult to lay out all of the rules in a way as if you're seeing it for the first time, right? There's kind of quite a lot going on, especially in this case. And you could see throughout that I was either missing things or getting rules wrong, kind of not being familiar with the game, and therefore kind of building wrong models and it not being very easy to work out exactly why they were wrong. So although I think kind of all the instructions are here, because they're quite complicated, it's quite a lot to kind of unravel in your mind and see the full picture and make sure that kind of your kind of big build like this has all of those rules. all at once. Um, shout out to the one person watching right now. Um, I assume you're not from the UK because it's kind of past 1 a.m. now. But we got there. We got there on cricket darts. So today I did pass the arrows and cricket darts. I've done Lana Banana. Thank you. Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. You can probably tell from the timer, but I've only done these two cases, and actually these ones, well, pass the arrows definitely isn't that hard really. It still took me like 50 minutes though. Um, cricket darts. Well, I think pass the arrows maybe level 5 is quite hard. But kind of levels 1 to 4 are maybe 4 is a bit hard as well, but certainly levels 1 to 3 are quite easy. Cricket darts was just I'm really struggling to understand what's going on here for probably about 2 hours. So yeah, that was a tough one. Um, Now, well, I mean, it's probably a bit late for me to do any more, especially because the next one up is backgammon, which is really hard. Um, and after it is VLooky. I'll talk about VLooky in a second, but backgammon is another game case, and this one kind of falls even more prey to the length of the instructions compared to cricket darts. I'm lucky in that I've played backgammon before. I kind of more or less know how the game works. But if you haven't played backgammon before and you open it up and you read this, like I think also you need to start modeling it kind of properly for level 2. All of this bearing off the board. And I think for somebody who hasn't done backgammon before, this would be like it's just outrageously difficult to be honest. I know we live in a kind of westernized world where a lot of people know backgammon, but it's meant to be the world championship and meant to be kind of open for all. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of backgammon, but for the kind of completionist, I will give it a go. But yeah, I don't think kind of from a case design standpoint, I'm not a big fan of this one. Um, and then VLooky. I don't have any issues with VLooky kind of as a case, but this is the one I went on the live stream. And specifically, while I went out, I was trying to solve level 4 here. And okay, there's a lot of whatever, right? I think it's gettable. You can get level 4. But certainly in the version I was doing on the live stream, the answers for level 4 were wrong. So, the case testers either had made the same issue or whatever. Um, but I don't know whether these answers in the answer file are going to be correct or not. And certainly on the live stream, they weren't. And basically, what happened was Stevenson, who was up against, managed to very quickly get these bonuses in, which was quite a savvy move. And then I got through levels 1 and 2, and I got through kind of half of 3. But Stevenson got through levels 1. I think I got through half of 3. Stevenson only got through 1 and 2, but I think I was kind of half a level ahead or such. But it wasn't enough to overcome the bonuses, and so and actually completing that level wouldn't have been enough to get the bonuses. So I jumped ahead to level 4 and tried working on that. And I think I did get that out, except the answers were wrong. Um, so so yeah, that's how I went out, a bit bitter about it. Not against Stevenson, especially. Like he also was working on a version of the case with wrong answers, right? And he was quite savvy to get these ones in first because they did end up mattering. But it would have been nice if the if the level 4 answers had been right. Luckily, I think particularly since this incident, they've been a lot more careful with that kind of thing. So we see fewer and fewer errors in the cases nowadays. Although, as I was saying on Lorenzo's live stream yesterday with Dim, we did manage to sneak in a small error in the case yesterday. which was that in level 7, you're supposed to find paths going through like a water network, and in one of the questions, well, the question kind of promised there'd only be one path down, but in one of the questions there were two paths down that kind of they ended up combining into one, which is probably why I missed it. So that managed to slip through the net, but mostly, mostly there aren't case errors anymore like this that sabotage whole levels. So I'm very glad for that. Uh, I guess I could comment on the arrows as well. I'm not a fan of pre-prepared lambdas. I think we should. Well, certainly they give you an advantage. I don't disparage anybody for using them, but I have been a bit of a trickster with these arrows before. On Lana Goes ice skating, particularly, I swapped them out for a whole different set of Unicode arrows to throw some people off. I don't know if I'd call that a lambda proof case, but it was definitely a kind of um, not as easy with lambdas as it would have been with proper arrows for a lot of people. I hope the answers to this are right, because if they're not, if they're not, I might I might relive my trauma. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to do any more today. I will say there's a director's cut of this flower power case, and in the director's cut there's a couple of kind of very cool maths tricks. So yeah, if you want to look at that, you can send me a message. Um, I think that and Lana Banana were the two cases I wrote this year. I didn't write any others. Yeah. Hopefully everybody has a nice evening. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you very much for anybody who watched this. If you're crazy enough to watch this kind of thing, I know I don't really present very well, and I'm not very engaging, and I just solve the cases, but it's more to get me into the habit of practicing the cases. And if somebody wants to watch along, they're very welcome to. I think I'm kind of probably less, like, as someone who doesn't use Excel regularly, I'm probably less strong um, than I was like last year or the year before. Um, so I don't think I'm pulling out cutting edge stuff very often, but at least it's kind of an authentic look at what to solve, and maybe gives you an idea of where people might get stuck or go wrong on certain cases, because we do work through them to the end. If I was training, I'd probably be writing lambdas and things as I went, but um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've got a real shot of winning this thing, to be honest. Not using Excel in daily life anymore. So yeah, just more as a kind of fun exercise, fun problem solving exercise to go through these. Same reason why I've been uploading videos. Thanks for sharing. No problem. All right, have a very lovely evening. Oh, actually, you're probably in the morning, aren't you? Yeah. Thank you very much.